Yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started on our presentation. And I'm going to switch over to our PowerPoint. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us. Today, our topic for the town hall is focusing on our value of being community-led. And for us, what does it mean to be community-led? For our partners, what does it mean to be community-led? And to have the decision-making and the power be with the communities that we partner with. So we are super excited to talk about this, and I just want to really quick introduce the speakers before we jump in. My name's Taylor. I am the Donor Communications Officer. Vanessa is the Communications Supervisor, and Philemon is the Community Action Program Officer. So we're super excited to share this with you today, and I'm going to hand things over to Vanessa. She's going to share about our recent campaign that we did last week.
Well, hi everyone. Good afternoon, US followers. Good evening, Sierra Leone viewers, and good early morning to me, from me, in Australia. But thank you so much for joining today. We really do appreciate it. And as Taylor talked about, we're talking about what, and community led. I will start off with saying it's such an important part of who we are and how we operate as One Village Partners. And if you've been an audience and supporter, or just been an audience for a while, you will hear us throw that word out. And it's a part of who we are. And that really just means that allowing the communities to take ownership and be the priority leader in their community, and how they want their developmental projects and things like that to go about. And so over the last week, we had a massive social campaign called a full circle community. And so for us, a full circle community basically means a community that has completed all three of our One Village Partners programs, and then all the phases that comes with it, respectively. So a community that we highlighted was Beaker, and Beaker is actually one of my most, I don't want to choose favorites, but one of my favorite communities we've ever worked with, because Bika not only has a special place in my heart, but I think the progress of their community and just the increase has it's so phenomenal that when you look back at how they started, you kind of see it's not just the development growth, but also you can kind of see the communal and the societal growth, and the shift in mentality and the shift in desire to see, social cohesion and leadership really rise up in their community. So for Bika, they completed the community action program, the nurturing opportunities for women's program, and the lead program, which Philemon will talk about very soon. So for the community action program, they did 3 phases, and we usually have 3 phases in that community action program. So the first phase, which we see a lot of communities do, which it's necessary. They start off by building a foundation. So for them, a foundation was better sanitation for their children and for the community as a whole. So they decided to build latrines over the course of a year, and that year they did so much, and they saw the increase in latrines and the decrease in diarrhea related illnesses, and that was really massive. And so the next step was, okay, what else do you want to do? And they did something else that obviously is not obviously, but something else that is also really important for them, which was access to clean water. And so over the next few years, mothers, fathers, children, everyone joined in. As we can see, chief members joined in, with the picture over there, to actually construct handrails for the community, construct these latrines. And my favorite of all, actually my second favorite, because you'll hear my favorite in a second, was their third cycle, where which is, okay, what next do you guys want to do? And they said they want to invest in human capital. So for that, they meant that the well-being of their community was not just now physical, but they wanted to now start thinking about what the community could do in the future. And so they did a training center, and that training center was such an invaluable thing, or is such an invaluable thing, because it actually creates pathways for youth, for young adults, for single parents, or for mothers in general, to actually start doing, to learn training skills, to learn skills that could become, economic freedom pathways for them. And for a culture that, kind of, if a culture that values education such as reading, writing, and then, the book way of education. Having other pathways of education was something that was not heard of. So this is really powerful and this is really great. And we saw a lot of women and youth, like increase their economic power and economic freedom. They learned skills as, sewing, soap making, and a lot of different things that they could really capitalize on for their family and create security. The women joined the Nurturing Opportunities for Women for program and completed all 3 phases as well, seeing really massive impact and seeing women achieve again economic freedom with their agribusiness and creating profitable businesses. And then my favorite project that they did was with the LEAD project. With, again, I said Philemon will talk about it. And the LEAD project is where One Village Partners becomes less of a partner and more of a mentor. And what we saw with Beaker was that they decided to collaborate with a community, a neighboring community to create a healthcare center. And that healthcare center, the reason why I love it so much is it doesn't just affect these 2 communities, but around 12 or 13 other communities around Beaker were impacted. So we're seeing over, the lives of over 200 women saved because they're able to have safe maternal care for their unborn children and when they do give birth. So that's what we really consider a full circle community, a community that has kind of gone through the process of all 3 of our programs successfully and now are, they're doing it. They're reaching out now to local government on their own. They're able to ask for funding. They're able to do things without One Village Partners, and that's what we call a full circle community. And it's such an amazing thing. So there's so many other communities that are on their way. So our online campaign, and today is also, we're just highlighting that there are many out there, and there are many that are ambitious, that have that potential to be a full circle community, and we can't wait to see what that looks like. So I'll hand it over to Philemon, who is going to talk a bit more about the LEAD program, and then we're going to highlight another community that is really on their way to that. Philemon?
Yeah, thank you very much, Nessa. You're all welcome. And I'm going to talk about LEAD. And LEAD means Leadership Engagement and Development Program. And the goal and objectives of LEAD are to improve leadership capacity in project design and management, proposal writing, and share learnings with fellow community members to create civic engagement across village collaboration between community members and local governments to provide communities with access to funding to address priority needs. Of course, LEAD came into existence based on feedback provided by partner communities about how they want to see future relationships with One Village Partners and other partners. So communities are determined to lead their own development initiatives in the long after OVP is gone. So LEAD program inspires communities to find common and lasting solutions to their problems using the community-led development knowledge they have gained. So as OVP cohorts, that is what we call partner communities, and complete 3 cycles of our direct programming, and that is the community action program. And now Nessa have just spoken of, they may join the LEAD program. So the relationship between communities and OVP changes in LEAD. So in LEAD, OVP's role is less and it's more of mentorship, supportive capacity and coaching. So Maju, one of the LEAD communities that participated in the activities where they amplified the knowledge gained from their training. So they selected a school project to provide easy access, to a conducive learning environment to children in the within and nearby communities. So the freed old dilapidated classroom building collapsed, and the community decided to construct six new expanded classrooms, and with office, store, latrine, and hand pump wells. So the lead process to the people of Maju is total empowerment, participative democracy, and inclusivity. So the process is a complete community-led, where they make use of their, local and human resources, where they had never realized their impacts in development processes. So um, we have resources in our community that we should use to develop our community, but we never knew, except when we have started working together as a community, calling women in our community decision meetings and attending OPP trainings. Resources like Anne-Marie Bokri, Geneva Kroma, Geneva Bayon, and Fatima Tamori are now key to involve in community decision makings for development. And this one was stated by the town chief of Maju, Bandi Ali. Maju community now has the potential to create and plan for the future. We are a community of possibilities, not a community of problems. We now have the capacity, expertise, and leaders to create an alternative future. Ali Moina, who is a project committee member, stated. During the lead project implementation, the community realized the value of local resources like stones in Mamua. That is their local name, they call their hill. They also realized the value of sands and trees, which they have been giving to people as barter exchange. People coming to their community, giving them money and the bags of rice, etc., to like extract those local materials like stone sands and log timbers. So some of the things that energize a community to finish all three circles and pursue lead funding are: we have community engagements, inclusive planning with community members and leaders, accountability and roles and responsibilities that goes cut across, OPP and the community. Achieving a specific goal of every project, feedback sharing with communities on every activity done in the community, and then achievements done outside One Village partners. So the leads have long-term impact for the people of Maju. I mean, some of these impacts increase collaboration with other communities and development partners like district council, and they require line ministries for self-development project implementation and support. Increase attendance of school pupils, having easy access to learning and teaching materials. Reduction of early school child dropout. Increased number of women in leadership roles and decision making. So the people of Maju are more reliable now and have the self-confidence to lead their own development. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Philemon. And so we've talked about Bika so far. Philemon talked about Majo and what an example that they are. Now we just want to take a second and also look ahead to the future. So we have this image of a map on the screen, which shows the areas that we currently are working in. We have partners in these areas, and then it also shows the areas of Sierra Leone that we hope to expand into with new partnerships over the next few years, and be able to eventually implement the LEAD program there as well. And we really wanted to introduce to you some of our newest partners, just with the ability to be able to just keep looking out for their names, for the projects that they're working on, and just get excited about just the different activities that they are currently working on, and that we'll hopefully be able to share with you about like their handover ceremonies and just whenever they are able to just celebrate the completion of those projects and the things that they're working on. So we have our partners that from 2023 are new partners, and then from this year as well, we have 9 new partners. So yeah, we just wanted to get you familiar with their names so that way you can keep an eye out and just see what they can accomplish. And right now, Solula and Potoru are working on their first project of constructing latrines in those communities. And then Tikonko, which we were talking about actually before the presentation started, the community of Tikonko is they chose the first project of a junior secondary school for their community. So lots of things in the works. We're really excited. And we just wanted to take a moment after hearing about those full circle communities and just the way that they went above and beyond and are just, there's lots of unity and social cohesion and just amazing outcomes. And then just point to our newest partners and just get excited about what they're going to be able to accomplish as well. So thank you so much again for hearing our presentation. We were really excited to share this topic with you today and just really emphasize what happens when a community is, they're the ones that are in the decision-making power and like they're the ones guiding the work is they achieve so much. And so we just wanted to share that with you. And we're actually going to move on to our Q&A section. So we have a little bit of time left. And if anyone has any questions, now would be a great time to just, hear anything that you have to say. And I actually see a hand. Mina, if you have a question.
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Taylor, Philemon, and Vanessa, for such an informative session. I've learned so much. So I'm Mina from Sierra Leone. I would love to work with OVP when I'm big one day. So my question for you all is, what happens to communities that don't receive funding for like the LEAD projects?
Oh, Philemon, do you want to answer that?
Oh yeah. Of course, when community receive the funding, the first thing they have to do is to like call entire community meeting to like present the funding to everybody in an open space, and then they have to immediately like visit the market to like do the portraits and then to come and like start the implementation. So that might be the first thing community do. And then because they have already an account and a community account, and then for those funds, so they don't keep the money in the community, but there are signatories to those accounts who can access their accounts. Should they want to use any money, the entire community can come together and decide what they want to do with the money.
Yeah, and to follow up on what Philemon has said as well, and kind of round out what you were saying, Mina, as well. So they're really trusted at this point, so they have their account. But then for the communities who actually don't get the funding, we do try and encourage them to apply again, and we even provide avenues for them to apply for funding with local leader or political government or stuff like that, so they can also understand that funding process and writing proposals and things like that. So we do try and encourage them to don't just look at One Village Partners. We will encourage you to also try and see what you can do out there. And we do hear a lot of great stories, and so some do come back and apply the next year, and then maybe they will get that the next year, or some do go and start applying with local ministers or local government and councillors and things like that.
All right, thank you, Philemon and Vanessa.
Yeah.
Awesome. Maggie, do you have a question?
Yeah, I imagine, with such a long time and a great presence in Sierra Leone, you may have villages or communities coming to you. Does that ever happen, seeking support? And how is the process of choosing and identifying the next area that OVP will work with?
Ooh. Philemon, do you want to try this? Do you want to jump on, or do you want to go?
Yeah, of course. One of the good aspects of LEAD, like you heard from the presentation, is the cross-village learning collaborations, and communities do move within their own communities to like educate other communities on the good aspects of lead. And then, of course, when they receive the funding, like I said, haven't received the funding before like implementations also, they have already collaborated with other community members to like get support, in terms of like labor, local materials, so that they know that particular project will also impact the communities around or the nearby communities. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. I'll also, Mina is on fire. I'll also round up again. I'm not, trying to cut Philemon's word. I'll also round up again for you, Maggie. I think a lot of times, and we've had this conversation before in previous town hall, as you say, we do have a lot of communities who are like, oh, we'd love for you to come, to our community. We'd love for you to do this. And there's a lot of process around it. And we are One Village Partners. We can't be everywhere at once. So usually the team, so Philemon's team, the Community Action Program and the Partnerships team, they would usually get together and, start looking at it based on, and we know there are needs everywhere, but we start looking, what community really does need it. And, we look at, that's where the monitoring and evaluations team kind of start looking at baselines and think, okay, what percentage of this community is is facing multidimensional poverty, and how can we, get in, for lack of a better word. So really, there is an aspect to that where the team itself, they do have to kind of start looking and saying, okay, as a matter of ranking, that's again, it's 2:00 in my time, guys. That's the best word I can think of right now. But as a matter of ranking of, this community does need us, so we will do that. But yeah, there's a whole lot of things that go behind the scenes. The monitoring and evaluation team, they do baselines, they do all of that to start assessing. And so we do get a lot. And so I'm happy I'm not in Philemon's team, because it is a hard work sometimes having to say, we'll come to you later, or we'll, but they go out to the communities, they even go and kind of source out communities and say, go to these community leaders and say, what do you need? What can we assist with? And again, we look at it, what we can do, funding as well, so, yeah, to round that up as well. So sorry, Mina, did anyone else have a question before we jump to the chat? Oh, that's a good question. Philemon, Mina asked again, what is the most common project that is chosen by communities in LEAD? So what projects do you see popular by LEAD communities that people want to do?
Well, of course, LEAD have just started 3 years ago. We are planning and wishing to like expand to like more communities, because more communities are like wishing, because of the impact they have started in current communities we have seen. So, the most common project that is coming up in LEAD is the school project, because we have like the school project in Majo. We also have the school project in Epejewa, and we have also like seen the health project coming up. Like Baker, we have the health project there. Like for Tibai, before like they could bring up the agricultural project, that is the store project. Their first project was like their intended project was like the health project, but because like budget constraints and some other things, and during our trainings, and they also realized that they have problem with health, but the more priority was like the store, because Tibai is agricultural community, so they later chose the store project, which was so convenient, and they are working with it, and maybe within a month now, they will harvest bags of rice, like which people around will benefit from that, because people like, for instance, in Tibai find it very difficult to like have rice seeds for the next farming. So these are the most common, projects that do come up, the education project and that of the health project.
Oh, I'd love to jump in. I don't want to, again, I'm not rounding up his words, but it gets me super excited. And what Philemon just said was so true, because what I think the lead project, the lead program does, it kind of takes away, especially for us, I'll say for us in the West, I'll generalize it. Sometimes we do think of just water, sanitation, health as that's definitely the most top things people would need in rural communities. But then these communities come up with these innovative ideas with actually what they need in that specific time. And so Kickbuy is really important, where if you think about it, you're like, why is a community store, if you think about it without really knowing their situation, you'd be, why is the community store so important? But for them, if a majority of the community works in agriculture and they don't have safe spaces to store their agriculture, where insects or vermin or anything can access it, that again ruins their economic freedom. And it's a whole cycle. So when they do say something like this, or a training center or something like that, you're like, oh wow, yeah, that is very specific to you. But also, that's the great thing about LEAD. They're coming to us and saying, no, this is, yes, we've got all these other issues, but this is really what's important. This is what we really want funded. So yeah, it's really great, because it really regenerates new ideas in these communities, because some of them do want to do the normal. I mean, it's not normal, but it's needed. But you really think about it and say, well, actually, what really do you need? And then they come back and say, actually, no, we need a store, or actually, yes, water is necessarily, but our kids don't have a safe place to go to school. So that's what we really need right now. So it's super inspiring to kind of see that flip switch and say, oh, that switch flip, there we go, and say, this is what we really need. So yeah, super cool.
Thanks for all the questions. Are there any more questions? I think we maybe have time for one more. But if not, I think we can go ahead and in 1 minute early. But thanks for everyone for coming. We really enjoyed just preparing for this presentation. So hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to, just as we're ending the town hall, I'm gonna just share our connection screen. So that way, if you have any questions or if you want to follow up in any way, you can send us an email, follow us on social media. So thank you again for coming, and hope you guys have a good rest of the day or rest of the evening. And we'll see you at another town hall in the future.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye.